I never thought the night shift at a gas station could change my life. I took the job last winter, small town, middle of nowhere, just me and the highway. The pay was lousy, but I needed the money, and honestly, I liked the quiet. No people, no stress, just the sound of the humming lights and the soft chime of the door whenever someone walked in. My shift ran from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Most nights were dead silent. A few truckers stopped for gas, maybe a couple of locals grabbing cigarettes or coffee. But the weird things started happening around 2:33 every single night. That's when the security cameras glitched. Faint static sound. I'd be checking the monitor, 4 small, black and white screens, and for exactly 5 seconds, all of them would flicker. Sometimes, I'd see shapes, blurs, movement in aisles that were empty when I looked up. I told myself it was just interference from passing trucks, but it never lined up. No trucks, no customers, just that strange flicker, and a shape I could never describe. The gas station itself was old. The manager, Dale, told me it used to be a repair shop back in the 70s. He said there's a basement under the floor, sealed off years ago after a fire. I never asked more, but every time I stood near the old back storage door, I could swear the tiles felt warm, like something humming underneath. The weirdest night was Thursday. Around 1:45 a.m., a man walked in. He looked normal at first. Tan jacket, baseball cap, dark eyes. He didn't speak for almost a full minute, just stood near the entrance, staring at the camera above the counter. "Can I help you, sir?" I asked. He finally turned to me and smiled. His teeth were perfect. Too perfect. "I'm just passing through," he said softly. Long road ahead. He bought a single pack of gum, paid in cash. When he handed me the bill, it felt cold, like it had been in a freezer. As he left, I noticed something. His reflection in the glass door didn't match. When he turned left to walk toward the pumps, his reflection turned right. Low distant wind hum. I blinked, and it was gone. At 2:33, right on schedule, the cameras flickered again. When they cleared, I saw that same man, standing at pump 3. But his car was gone. Just him, standing there, staring at the building. I checked the window. Nothing outside. The lot was empty. I looked back at the monitor. He was closer now. Pump 2. I grabbed the phone to call Dale, but the line was dead. No dial tone. That's when the lights above aisle 4 started to buzz louder. Then one flickered out completely. I stepped out from behind the counter, flashlight in hand. Footsteps echo softly. Every step echoed too loudly, like the walls were swallowing sound. I shined the beam down aisle 4. Nothing. Just dust and snack bags. Then I heard breathing. Not mine. Heavy. Slow. Coming from the back storage door. The one that led to the sealed basement. The knob trembled slightly, like someone was holding it from the other side. "Hello," I said. "Who's there?" No answer. Just a faint click. The sound of the lock turning by itself. I froze. The knob stopped moving, and for a few seconds I thought maybe I imagined it. Then the door slowly creaked open about 2 inches. Cold air drifted out, carrying the smell of burnt metal. Door creaked softly. The flashlight flickered. Inside the dark gap I saw a shape, a man-shaped silhouette, but it wasn't standing. It was hanging upside down. I dropped the light. By the time I picked it up, the door was completely shut again, and the warmth under the floor, gone. Everything was cold, dead cold. At 4 a.m., Dale showed up early to check inventory. I told him what happened. He didn't laugh. He didn't even seem surprised. He just sighed and said, "You saw him too, huh?" I froze. "What do you mean, him too?" Dale looked at the floor for a long moment before answering. "Last guy who worked nights quit after a week. Said a man kept showing up at pump 3, even after he closed the station. Cameras caught him once. But when we checked the footage the next morning, there was nothing." He pointed at the storage door. "That's where it started. Don't open it again." That night, when I came in for my next shift, there was something new waiting for me. A note on the counter. Typed, not handwritten. "You shouldn't have looked at him." I glanced up at the cameras. All 4 screens were black. And then, through the front glass, I saw pump 3's light flicker on by itself. Faint mechanical hum. Footsteps approaching. The descent in the truth. Soft static crackle. That note, "You shouldn't have looked at him," sat on the counter, like a warning written for someone else. My chest felt tight. The store was silent except for the faint buzzing of the overhead lights and the hum of the refrigerator in the back. I checked the front window again. Pump 3's light was still glowing, even though no one was outside. The security monitors were blank, just static. I stepped toward the door. Door chime jingles softly. Cold night air rushed in as soon as I opened it. The smell of gasoline hit my nose, sharp and heavy. I could see my breath even though it wasn't that cold outside. Pump 3 flickered. There was a figure standing next to it again. Motionless, facing me. This time I knew it wasn't human. The body was thin, too thin, like stretched skin over wire. The face, featureless except for 2 deep black holes where eyes should have been. It lifted its hand and pointed directly at me. Low distant wind. I stumbled backward into the store and slammed the door. The chime rang twice, once when I came in, and once again after it had already shut. That second chime didn't belong to me. Someone else had entered. I turned slowly. A man stood by aisle 3, head tilted to the side like a broken puppet. Same jacket, same face as the guy from last night. Only this time, his eyes were gone, hollow pits that shimmered like wet glass. He smiled again. "You stayed," he whispered, voice bending like static. "They all leave. But you stayed." I tried to back away, but my legs felt heavy, like the air around me had thickened. "What do you want?" I said. His smile widened. "I want to go back down." Deep metallic thud from the storage door. The sound came from the back, that same sealed door. He turned his head toward it, bones cracking with every movement. "It's open now," he whispered. "You opened it." I looked past him, and my blood ran cold. The storage door, which had always been shut, now hung wide open. A faint red light pulsed from the darkness below, like a heartbeat buried under the earth. The air smelled of burning oil and something rotting. He started walking toward it. I wanted to run, but curiosity, or something darker, kept me frozen. He stopped at the threshold and turned to me. "They need a new one," he said softly. "The station always needs someone to stay." Then he stepped into the darkness and vanished. I grabbed my phone. No signal. The landline was still dead. So I ran, out the door, across the lot, into the desert night. My car refused to start. The key clicked, but no ignition. I looked back at the station, and my heart dropped. Through the glass, I could see myself, standing behind the counter, motionless. Distant hum grows louder. I blinked hard, but the reflection didn't move. The other me just stared at the camera, same as that man had done the first night. Then the lights inside flickered, and the reflection smiled. By dawn, I was still sitting on the curb across the street, shaking. When Dale arrived, I ran up to him and begged him to open the store to check inside. He looked at me like I was a stranger. "Who are you?" he asked. "It's me, Jake," I said. "The night clerk. You hired me last week." He frowned, unlocking the door slowly. "Buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't had a night shift since Todd disappeared." He turned the lights on, and there I was, standing behind the counter, smiling. Dale froze, whispering, "Oh God, not again." The other me raised his hand slowly and waved. Then the lights went out. Static intensifies, whispering voices overlapping. When I opened my eyes again, everything was dark. I was standing behind the counter. The hum of the lights was gone, but the smell of gasoline was still strong. On the monitor, the time read 2:33 a.m. Pump 3 flickered. A car pulled in, headlights slicing through the darkness. A man stepped out, walked toward the door, and for a brief second, I thought I recognized him. Tan jacket, baseball cap, nervous eyes. He looked just like me. Door chime jingles. "Can I help you, sir?" I asked. He froze, and then just like before, he smiled.